Positive energy all the time. Good to see you all this morning. Good to see you, Roster Man, Danielle, Body Sculpture Challenge, XYZ. Hope everybody's doing great this morning. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Well, this morning we have some sad news and information about the passing of D'Angelo. They're not being clear to what the conditions were exactly yet, but they are reporting that he was battling pancreatic cancer. So, pancreatic cancer is something that's pretty serious, and he's been battling it. And I'm not sure if that's the cause of death, but all reports are stating that he was battling pancreatic cancer. I got this information from Yahoo Entertainment, and it says D'Angelo, the Grammy-winning R&B singer and musician who helped usher in the neo-soul movement, has passed away after a private battle with cancer, his family announced on Tuesday. He was 51. So, yeah, they are saying cancer had everything to do with it. The shining star of our family has dimmed his light for us in this life, his family said in a statement to multiple news outlets. After a prolonged and courageous battle with cancer, we are heartbroken to announce that Michael D'Angelo Archer, known to his fans around the world as D'Angelo, has been called home, departing this life today. We are saddened that he can only leave dear memories with his family, but we are eternally grateful for the legacy and extraordinary moving music he leaves behind, the statement added. We ask that you respect our privacy during this difficult time, but invite you all join us in mourning his passing while also celebrating the gift of song that he has left for the world. Good to see you, April. So, yes, they are surely saying it was because of the pancreatic cancer. He was very talented. And what I'm going to do, let's just have 1 minute of silence for the great artist D'Angelo. 1 minute of silence. Okay. R.I.P. to the brother D'Angelo. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like doing these type of presentations and live streams. 51. I'm 67. That's a long time. Cancer is not a joke. And it's pretty sad. He was really a great artist. Came out the gate smoking. Oh my man. Really, really hot. I mean, he was so talented, and he was extremely talented for real. His career was kind of shortened. I'm not going to speculate on that, but his career was shortened just like way, way too early to be that talented. You know what I'm saying? I mean, extremely, extremely talented. AJ, just go pull up D'Angelo. I think a song, How Do You Feel? I think is the name of the hit song, one of his hit songs. Mm. Yeah, How Does It Feel? I think How Does It Feel? I think was one of his biggest songs. Brown Sugar. Yeah, Brown Sugar was another one. Hot records, man. The song Africa. The song Higher. The Brown Sugar album was fire. Oh man. The Brown Sugar album was fire. So go check out some of his music, y'all. Man, he was with it, man. He was extremely talented. You know, he was extremely talented. So what a loss. Rest in peace to him. Health is everything. We lost Quincy Jones to pancreatic cancer, even though he was older. He had a lot of money, so he was probably able to deal with it. Recently, we lost Sheila Jackson to pancreatic cancer. She was struggling. Uh, with it. You living your life, and at 67, I'll be 68 in February. That's just a few months, basically 4 months, and it's a lot better to not be fighting illnesses and sicknesses. You know, a lot of my peers, that's my exact same age. I mean, some of them are gone. I kind of don't, like asking about people I grew up with because so many of them passed away. But Some of them are here, but they haven't been feeling well for 10 years, 15 years. People don't be feeling well for a lot of years. A lot of years, people don't be feeling well. I'm saying pancreatic cancer is a complex disease with multiple potential causes. While the exact cause is often unknown, some known risk factors include lifestyle factors. Smoking, the leading cause of pancreatic cancer is smoking. Alcohol consumption. Excessive alcohol use can increase risk. Obesity. Being overweight or obese increases risk. And of course, diet. A diet high in processed meats, red meats, and fried foods may contribute to the risk. Then there's genetic factors, family history. Having a close relative with pancreatic cancer increases risk. Genetic mutations. Certain gene mutations, such as BRCA1 and BRCA2, can significantly increase risk. Other risk factors, chronic pancreatitis, inflammation of the pancreas can increase risk. Gallstones, having gallstones may increase risk. Exposure to certain chemicals, exposure to pesticides, benzene, and other chemicals may increase risk. Age, pancreatic cancer is more common in older adults. Diabetes, people with diabetes have a slightly increased risk of pancreatic cancer. Now, some of the things they were saying are like the same things, like, you eating wrong and then this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? And good to see you, Andre. But I think one thing I'm going to be talking about on my next presentation over here is that uh, there's a lack of teaching about the healing properties of fruits and vegetables, herbs and spices. And there's a lack of information about that. And if you're taking certain toxins into your body and you're eating, you know, processed meats and processed foods that aren't really healthy, artificial flavors, artificial color preservative, not only are you taking bad things into your body, but the things you're drinking and eating aren't flushing those things out. And this is one of the things that's really missed, the part about flushing out. This evening I'll be here and I'm going to talk about that this evening. A presentation, I'm going to be talking about the insides of fruit and vegetables. And I'm going to break that down because people just look at, if we're plant-based vegan, they just look at us just eating healthy to get all the healthy nutrition out the food. But we're also eating foods that clean us too. These foods clean the body. And so when you're living in a toxic environment and you're consuming toxins and you're not taking time to consume things that cleanse the body, I mean, what do you think is going to happen to you? This graph is provided by NortonBiotech.com. Shout out to NortonBiotech.com. They are saying that pancreatic cancer risk factors 60 and plus, that's me, smoking, family history, chronic pancreatitis, obesity, genetic mutations, environmental toxins, and dietary patterns, which dietary patterns should be right up there next to the cigarette. And I believe for financial reasons, they always try to push this last. I'm not saying that Norgen Biotech's doing that. They're just repeating information that is brought to them by the medical industry. But the medical industry is always pushing the food last. What brand of sea moss do I recommend? I get my sea moss from Sea Moss Island. That's where I get my sea moss from. No, no, no. I don't get my sea moss from Sea Moss Island. I get my sea moss from. Let me see. I used to get it from there. Wait a minute. I get my sea moss from Red's Kitchen. I get my sea moss from Red's Kitchen. My bad. Go to Red's Kitchen, and this is where I get it from. I get the Irish moss, the yellow one. The purple one is really good, but it's more taste, and the yellow one, you won't really taste it when you make it. So, yeah, these are the people I get my sea moss from. Red's Kitchen. Shout out to Red's Kitchen. This is not a paid advertisement. I'm just answering a question. Right? Did you take the COVID vaccine? I haven't had any vaccine since I was a kid. As soon as I got old enough, uh, I didn't take any on. Don't get vaccines. So I haven't had any vaccine. My mother tried to get me to get a shot for. I forgot what that was. I don't know if it was diphtheria. No, it was something else. They had some type of outbreak, and my mother tried to get me to take a shot, and I didn't take it. And I refused to go. I think I was in high school, maybe a freshman. I might have been in eighth grade. And about 6, 7, 8 years later, I seen it on CNN where they had to ban the shot. I forgot what that shot was. They wanted everybody to take this shot, and I didn't go take it. And later, it was on 60 Minutes. People was crippling everything from that shot. I want to say diphtheria shot, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find it. Might have been the swine flu. It might have been the swine flu shot. But I don't remember. I think it was something else. Now, diphtheria, that was in the 40s. That wasn't it. Diphtheria in the 60s. Diphtheria in the 70s. It wasn't a diphtheria shot because I got that when I was a kid, so they wouldn't have wanted me to get that. I think it was a swine flu shot. It was one of those shots. It was one of those shots, but I didn't take it. I forgot what that shot was. It was something. It was something they was afraid of some type of outbreak or something. Um, but I've been plant-based since 1978 when I turned 20. I have taken an antibiotic for like a bad tooth, I had a bad tooth and really I had a tooth that had to get pulled, and the dentist told me you got to take this medicine and come back in a week and I'll pull it. And I went being plant based, a young roster plant based. I ain't taking that mess. I went back to the doctor and he pulled the tooth. And I went home and like 2 days later, I was like in the bed sick. I couldn't hardly move. I had big old lumps under my arms and stuff. And this high possibility, if I wasn't plant based, that could have been detrimental. But I think me eating right and stuff, it wasn't. So then I went back to the dentist and told him. He said, "Fool, that's why I told you to take it because when I pulled the tooth, all the poison was going to go in your body." I was like, "Oh, so you should listen to your doctor uh, when they're trying to give you certain antibiotics." And that was a lesson learned. I had another friend almost lose his finger not going to the doctor when I lived in Hawaii. So yeah, the doctor is a good thing. But this situation with this pancreatic cancer, you know, that's a serious problem. Something that, you know, it's serious. It's very serious. But they never really want to tell you to eat right, which I find a little crazy, considering the function of the pancreas. Now let's look at the function of the pancreas. And this is why I show you this is very suspicious why they don't just get to the facts. What does the pancreas do? The pancreas is an organ located in the abdomen that plays crucial roles in digestion and hormone production. So the pancreas plays a crucial role in digestion. Okay? You see, it's in your stomach. It's in a very vital part of your stomach, right where you dump all the food. Digestive function produces enzymes that break down carbohydrate, proteins and fats into smaller molecules that can be absorbed by the body. Now, what's going to be the easiest protein to break down? Plant protein or lumps of steak and pork? You tell me. Listen, let's keep this a billion. One of the reasons I feel like I'm one of the foremost experts on getting people to eat better is because I was born in 1958. My parents came up here from Alabama, young people, had me and my sister. And I've been eating American food from 1958, which anybody could tell you would be a very, very special moment in the history of eating, because that meant I caught the end of how my parents ate. So now when I'm a little child, 2 or 3 years old, I'm catching the end parts of how they ate. And so when I'm little, I'm 3, 4, people did not have uh, Fruit Loops and all that. They mostly ate oatmeal. They ate like cream of wheat. They ate grapefruits almost every morning for breakfast. They would cut a grapefruit in half and put sugar on it. They ate bacon, eggs, or sausage and eggs, toast, sometimes grits. And the only cereal they had for children were just cornflakes, just plain cornflakes. It wasn't until I got 5 or 6, like 7, when the TV started pushing Fruit Loops, Tricks, every cereal controlled a certain channel where the cartoons came on. So General Mills would control these cartoons on this channel. Kellogg's would control. So whichever cartoons you was watching, that was the cereal they pushed. And they began to push all this cereal with artificial flavors and artificial colorings. By the time I got older, by the time I get in like 7th, 8th grade, and my cousin is born. He's 7 years younger than me, 8 years younger than me. It got worse. They start pushing Count Chocula and cookies, cereals with cookies in it and all that. And we started eating worse. And so my mother's and them generation, they did eat pork, they did eat beef, they did eat pork chops, but the plates were divided into 5 sections, 6 sections. In other words, there would be some chicken, but there would be string beans, corn on the cob, like that. It would, some mashed potatoes. It wouldn't just be meat and bread. And they really didn't eat mac and cheese. They ate the replacement for mac and cheese was potato salad. That they didn't make that often because it had a tendency to be spoiled. People had a tendency to get sick from the potato salad. In those days, your mother would always tell you, don't eat nobody's potato salad. When you go visit relatives, don't eat the potato salad, because people used to really have to go to the hospital from potato salad. But over the years, the food got worse and worse. And the amount of meat that we ate increased. Uh, right after Kentucky Fried Chicken, by the time you get to Church's Chicken, now you got young people going, you don't have to eat like mommy and them ate. You don't have to eat any string beans. You don't have to eat any potatoes. You don't have to eat any corn on the cob. You could just pull up in your little car on the way after school. You can go to Church's Chicken, get a 6-piece, get a 4-piece of bread and a soda. So this whole generation is eating from how I ate from high school in the 72 to 76 People are eating from 1976 and worse. You're not eating anywhere at all similar to the 60s and the 50s. Large consumptions of processed meat. Large, large. People trying to see how much turkey they can eat on Thanksgiving, how much ham they can eat. People no longer eat balanced anymore. They don't eat balanced. So now imagine you don't eat balanced. You're putting all this stuff into your body. You're dumping all this processed meats into your body. And then this pancreas in your stomach has got to break down all this meat. It doesn't have much vegetables in there with it. There's a lot of potatoes in there, which is making it more dry and more clumpy. There's a lot of cheese in there, which is going to make it more dry and more clumpy. And so typically people are eating much more clumpy food. They're not eating a lot of food that breaks down easily because they're consuming way more meat, way more bread, way more potatoes, and way more cheese. And you know that if you got a bowl and you put some meat, even if you ground some meat up in there, and if you put some cheese in there, and if you put some bread in there, if you put some potatoes in there, and you mash it up and made something, and you came back and set it out, came back the next day, you know that will be hard as a brick. No liquid. There's no liquid. There's no liquid in the meat. There's no liquid in the bread. There's no liquid in the cheese. There's no liquid in the potatoes. So all of that dry stuff has to go into your stomach and has to go into your pancreas. And your pancreas has to clean all that stuff. Real talk. Your pancreas has to do that dirty job of cleaning that stuff. And you know your pancreas cannot do anything with that stuff. You know it. What is your pancreas going to do with that? You just look where the pancreas is at. It's in there working overtime. There's no way that this pancreas could work the modern day diet. It's impossible. It's impossible that the modern day diet, full of cheese, bread, meat, and potatoes, there's just no way. There's just no way your pancreas is going to be able to do anything with that. How? It's impossible. Come on. We're intelligent, we know. That's impossible. You don't do your car like that. Your car got oil, your car full of liquids. Oil, transmission fluid, brake fluid, gas. Your car's full of liquids. You know if you put that stuff in the oil, where the oil go, or if you put cheese and all that stuff where the gas at, the car stop. You can't put nothing lumpy and clumpy in there. It won't work. The machinery won't work. And your body is a machine. Your body needs moisture. All the water in the world is not going to help your pancreas digest that stuff. Now imagine if that stuff is processed. If it's processed, it's going to be in there causing serious problems. So this is your pancreas when it's working well, and this is your pancreas when it starts developing a tumor. Now, I wonder what could make it develop a tumor. Now, you could be living and working where there's toxins and things like that too. But if there is things in the pancreas, like toxins and things like that, how do you get them out? You're going to have to get them out with some type of liquid. So you're going to have to eat some string beans. You're going to have to eat some vegetables that got moisture in it. You're going to have to eat some broccoli. You're going to have to eat some, you're going to have to drink some teas. You're going to have to eat some fruit. Yeah, you're going to have to eat some fruit to get in there to help lubricate the stomach, the colon, the prostate. It needs lubrication. Our food is dry. Yep. Our food is dry. Think about it. Your food is dry. Your children eat dry stuff all day. And when your children do get some moisture, it's artificial colors, artificial flavors, preservatives, and a whole bunch of sugar, diabetic type things. Look, stage one. Then look, stage 1A, stage 1B. Look how big the tumor gets. And that's down in your stomach. So some of this stuff is just common sense. What's going on in your stomach that would create that? I mean, to me, it's just common sense. To me, I think, I think, uh, I think for the sake of money, you know, I think money is manipulating everything, not even really giving us the real information. So we lost another great one. And the fact that he's having a problem with his pancreas pretty much says it all. Of course, it could be from anything. It could be from a toxins somewhere around where he lives and stuff. But the hereditary thing, I've always had a problem with they saying these things hereditary. I don't believe they can scientifically prove that something my parents got, I got, if I'm eating the same food my parents is eating. I believe that would be inconclusive science. Because the only way you could prove it's truly hereditary is feed me different, right? If it's a science, and you want to see that if my parents got cancer, if it's hereditary, if I got the cancer, the only thing would prove that it's hereditary is if I ate different. If I ate the same thing, then it would be questionable. Is it the fact that I inherited that diet? Is it the family blood that made me hereditary, or is it the table? Is it the fact we all eat at the same table? And many of us are saying that the table is hereditary. That the reason you overweight just like your parents is because you eat just like them. Because you all sit at the same table and you consuming the same things that made them sick. As a matter of fact, a lot of times they slowly develop these bad habits, and you're born in these bad habits, and you get sick quicker than your parents. You get overweight quicker than your parents. Your parents might not even been overweight at your age. But because over the years they developed worse and worse way of eating, which is a fact, that without me waking up to being plant-based and stuff, I would have just ate worse and worse and worse. I was on my way to a disaster because the food was getting worse. I was getting older. I was more independent. I don't want to eat what mommy and them cooking. I'm not doing mommy. I'm grown. I got a girlfriend already. I'm already trying to make a baby. So now me and my young queen, we own something else. We own a whole new lifestyle. For example, let's say your mother's a little bit overweight and father, they have you, you're a little chubby. But all of a sudden they invent Krispy Kreme donuts, right? Your mom, you know what I'm saying? Your mom and daddy didn't have Krispy Kreme donuts. Boom, you get about 18, 19, Krispy Kreme open up, right? Boom, they piping hot in the morning. Everybody tell me they be trying to go in the morning when they fresh because it'd be like crazy, right? So now you're going to be bigger than mommy and daddy. They didn't have Krispy Kreme. They didn't have Krispy Kreme. They didn't have, now you got a extra habit. You got a habit mommy and daddy didn't have. So as when mommy and daddy is overweight, they both in the 300 pounds. You 500. Mommy and daddy overweight, they 290, 300. You 320, 325. You bigger than mommy and daddy at an earlier age. Why? Because you got Krispy Kreme. You got new stuff that's really crazy, highly addictive. So, 51, that's too young. That's too young. And that his pancreas probably never got a chance to fix itself. You know what I'm saying? He probably didn't know no better. You making money. You out there in the entertainment world, it's a lot of champagne popping, a lot of liquor, a lot of cigars, a lot of smoking. In that world, that's not going to help much. And then, it's very hard to change the way you eat. The way we eat is very addictive. So if you get sick and you're already addicted to this lifestyle way we eat, right? That's the worst because you're sick. You need to eat different, but you're addicted. You don't have no time to change slow. You have to change immediately to do a total turnaround if you want to try to reverse this cancer or diabetes or whatever. But the addiction, it might make it so you can't even do it. I mean, that ain't gonna really That's gonna be that might be something, but still, uh, that wouldn't explain why so many Americans have pancreatic cancer. Let's look it up. I don't really see how that would make your pancreas way up in your stomach get like that. In 2025, an estimated 67,440 Americans will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and more than 51,980 will die from it. Statistics from previous years show the incidence has been increasing, with more than 66,000 new cases expected in 2024, according to the National Cancer Institute. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's look it up. I'm not sure. I can't see any evidence of that. Oh, yeah, Jay. Much respect for that. Um, you know, with me, I blame most of the stuff on food. And that's what I'm gonna be talking about in my next live. See, people think you just eat right, and they think that the principle is to eat right to put good nutrition in your body, which is true. But also, fruits and vegetables, not only do they add good nutrition, they also cleanse. So if I'm around here taking in some type of dust or taking in some type of negative stuff into my body, stuff like lemons and watermelon and garlic and onion, gonna go in there and clean that out. So not only do the food, not only do fruits and vegetables add nutrition, they also cleanse things that you're getting that you might not even be getting from food. And this is what I'm going to be talking about in the next episode over here. This is what a lot of people's missing. The cleaning effect of the food, of the tea. There's benefits. This is soursop tea. Many people in Africa swear that this helps prevent cancer. I can't say that's what it does, right? But I drink it. They say the soursop fruit, they say helps prevent cancer, not necessarily heal cancer, but they don't know. They don't know. They haven't done the research. But tea, how is tea going to be bad for you? You know? Yeah, I'm drink tea all the time. It helps you get moisture. This is a different tea right here. It's a plant from Asia I'm drinking. So The things you put in your body adds nutrition, adds certain natural medicines, and also cleanses the body. Cleanses the body. And in that rich and famous lifestyle, it's all consumed. There is no cleanse. It's not any cleanses. So like somebody for me, it's obvious when you change and you eat clean. You know what everybody else is doing. So everybody's consuming poison. Because when you go to eat, that's all that's there. That's in the regular world, from my point of view, all that's there in your world is garbage. You don't have anything good to eat or drink. You just don't. There's nothing out there for me to eat like that. Like this world, like 90% of this world is garbage. It's just a small 10% that you got to find somewhere to go. Other than that, it's all garbage. If you invite me to a function right now, there won't be nothing in there for me to eat. That's a fact. I already know to eat before I go. There won't be anything in there of any type of decency unless it's some kind of like conscious function or something. But the typical like wedding and stuff like that, it ain't gonna be nothing in there. But hey, none of that stuff gonna be good for you. Nothing in there is gonna be worth nothing. There's nothing I would eat. I wouldn't eat anything in there. So I wonder why you're sick. I mean, the world you live in is so toxic and so poisonous. And that's how you have a good time. And we live in a world where just have a good time. We don't deal with consequences. Just eat it. Don't worry about it. And once you clean up and you eat better, not only are you aware about what you eat, but you also get like a certain type of x-ray vision, like a certain type of vision. So when I look at you, I could see you sick. I can see all the extra weight you don't need to have. I can see everything. Because you're not in your natural state, you're in your unnatural state. So even us, we can see if we're getting a little too fat, if we need to do some sit-ups or we need to work out. You can see it. And we know that's bad stuff that's on your body. So you got extra stuff on your body. Is it good? No. It's not no good stuff on your body, all that extra stuff. So your whole society is just totally toxic. You know what I mean? That's like nothing to eat, like nothing. Like if you go to a concert, there's nothing in there to eat for anybody that's trying to eat right. I mean, absolutely nothing. I mean, zero. Go to a big concert. There's nothing. There's nothing healthy in there to eat. I mean, nothing. Everything in there is full of artificial everything. Even Whole Foods. Like I was in Whole Foods yesterday. I went to the aisle to get some crackers. I found like one box that was halfway decent. No, there was more, but the ones that was decent hardly had no crackers in it, and it cost $1,000. I'm exaggerating, but it was really expensive. Like these is the ones we only got 3 ingredients, but you only get 9 crackers for $7. That type. I said that when it is really healthy, you you don't get much, and it's expensive. So how are people going to be healthy like that? When they're healthy crackers, they only give you 10 for $12. You know what I'm saying? I kid you not. I kid you not. I had to read all them crackers because I don't eat crackers like that. And I had some hummus, and I wanted to dip. I wanted to find something to dip it in. I found some potato chips that was really nice. A bag of potato chips, and they was like $7, $5, something crazy. It's like a bag of potato chips, like $5 or $6 for a bag of potato chips, the healthy ones. Corn chips. I found a really good, nice corn chip. $7. Then when you get the bag, you say it's nothing in there. There's nothing. There's just air. So you don't even live in a society that's interested in you being healthy. You live in a cancer and diabetic society, unfortunately. So we lost a good one, a really good musician out there in that world, lost. You know what I'm saying? Yep, out there in that lost world. And they're not gonna push it. They're not gonna push. They're not gonna speak on the pancreatic cancer at all. All they're gonna say is he's a great musician. He's very talented. He's a great one. Lost early. Nobody's gonna speak on pancreatic cancer. Not channel 2, channel 5, channel 7, none of them. They wait till Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month, but nobody's going to speak on that. Nobody's going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. They're going to sweep that right up under the rug. So all I can tell you is you better eat to live. You know what I mean? Victory.